into talking about a replacement for the Shanghai Grand Prix, but you completely
I've scuppered the segue.
You've cut me out of that one, so we're gonna kind of tiptoe our way over there. Then, of course, Shanghai. We still haven't got confirmation as to whether we're even gonna get a race to replace it, but there are still a few interesting candidates, aren't there?
Yeah, definitely. It kind of could go anywhere really. Obviously we've got a flurry of completely capable Grade 1 circuits from 2020 when we needed loads of circuits out of nowhere. So yeah, the likes of Portimao, Mugello, Turkey, they're all kind of throwing their hat in the ring. Personally, if I had to make a call, I don't think it will get replaced, and we'll just have 23 races. Is it 23? I think it's 23.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Let me just double check. Full
or
schedule.
22.
It's 20, 3, 7, 11, 15, 19. No, it is meant to be 24, so we go down to 23 again, wouldn't we?
Yeah, which would be a bit of a shame because it leaves a ridiculous gap. Like we had, was it last year? I think, like we had last
3
year,
weeks,
where you've got round 1 and 2, and then a 2-week gap, then where China was meant to be, then another 2-week gap, and it's like, right. I think, like that's a word, logistic wise, that's buzz that. The race before is Australia, so if they want to, like, it makes sense to replace it with an Asian circuit ideally, but there's not really any candidates. I would love them to go back to Sepang, but that won't happen.
There are some candidates. Sepang have sort of flirted with the idea, apparently. Again, obviously, of course, this is all speculation. But, of course, the big issue for Sepang was the fact they couldn't get enough seats in the grandstands.
Yeah.
Formula One's exploded since 2017. I think there is a possibility that this could be Sepang's return to Formula One. And that's a lot more sensible than the two other ideas that I'd like to float around.
It's one of them Kyle Army by any chance?
No, it's not, because that's in completely the wrong direction.
Yeah.
I had two. One of them apparently has actually been spoken about, Jamie, but I'm not convinced. That being Adelaide.
I heard about that, yeah. I'm not convinced.
I could vibe with a return to the Adelaide Grand Prix. Of course, Australian supercars, they still race there each year. It's normally in November, though, rather than at the start of the year. But it kind of fits, F1 is trying to be sort of more carbon neutral and sensible and things like this. And going from Saudi to Australia to, Nürburgring or Portimao, and then back over to Baku probably doesn't look great. But, Saudi to Melbourne, Melbourne to Adelaide, Adelaide to Baku doesn't look so bad. You're kind of heading back in the right direction after the Australian Grand Prix. The other one that I would love to see, and I know I've mentioned this before in the past, can we not get Fuji hosting a Formula One Grand Prix again? That would be sick.
It would be.
And I think they deserve it, because Suzuka, don't get me wrong, it's a historic circuit. It's got plenty of heritage. But Fuji, there's a very good chance, mainly because of the huge front straight, that it could deliver a better Grand Prix. Because let's be fair, Suzuka has often delivered fairly snooze fests because there's not much space to overtake.
2020.
And if you tell me last year's race was good, but that was pretty much entirely because of the weather.
2019 was good, which was the second last time.
Yeah, I suppose. It's delivered some pretty good races still, but if you're trying to suggest to me that Turn 1 at Fuji isn't the best overtaking place in Japan, I don't know what is.
In the whole of Japan, not even just
in
Fuji
the entirety of Japan. Jamie, it's got a 1.2 kilometre straight into a hairpin. If that doesn't scream,
they'd get around there in like a minute, or maybe under a minute now as well.
No, nowhere near. It's about 1:15.
Yeah, but back in 2008, it was like 1:10. So they would.
Don't think that's right.
No, that is right.
I don't think that's right. And no, unless
Felipe
they didn't
Massa's
have the
pole
chicane.
time.
You get me Felipe Massa's pole time that says a 1:10, and I will believe you. I do not believe that was the case.
Was it 2008? Oh, it's Lewis Hamilton.
It was Lewis Hamilton.
Oh, it's 1:18. Never mind.
There you go. See, thank you very much.
But they would be getting 7 seconds off that now, I reckon.
6 or 7.
So yeah, it'd be quite a short track. I just like Suzuka too much, and I don't think
No, but I'm not saying get rid of Suzuka.
No, I know,
I'm
but
saying have both of them.
I'm not sure they would have both, to be perfectly honest. I think you're pie in the sky a little bit.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But I still wanted to float the idea out there. I think, sensibly, if F1's going to pick somewhere, they should be trying to target Sepang or, Jamie...
India.
I wasn't actually going to say India. I was going to say Istanbul.
Yeah,
but
that would
India
make
is
sense.
another good shout.
Istanbul would be good. India, they're doing MotoGP there at the Bud International Circuit, which has kind of been derelict for 10 years, but MotoGP is going back, so there's no reason why F1 can't. And it's obviously a huge market that they're kind of leaving untapped at the minute. So that would be cool if we go back to India. Sebastian Vettel to return to carry on his winning streak.
Yep, he's got to keep that streak alive, hasn't he? I mean, like you said, of course, I genuinely do think Formula One is going to push to replace Shanghai. I just feel like there's too many options that they can't at least really try to.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think it's, if the race was in like meant to be in October, November time, then potentially they could. But because it's in April, which is quite close now in terms of how fast Formula One moves, that's going to be a struggle to replace.
I think we'll agree to disagree there then, but for the sake of the show.